بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضاه. إخوتي في الله، حفظكم الله، حياكم الله. ما أخبرتكم عن رحلتي. I didn't tell you all about my last trip to Milwaukee. حصل خير بإذن الله وحده. A lot of good occurred by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ذهبنا هناك لزيارة أخينا أبي عبيد Ali Grace. We went to visit my brother Abu Ubaid Ali Grace. وله دعوة وجهود طيبة هناك. He has good da'wah there. He's trying, mashallah. Mashallah, Allah يبارك فيه. والحمد لله أنا خطبت هناك خطبة الجمعة ومحاضرة في نفس الليلة والليلة بعده يوم السبت. I did the khutbah Jum'ah there, and on Friday night it was a lecture, and Saturday night. والأخ علي بارك الله فيه يزور جميع المساجد هناك، يدعوهم إلى السنة بدون أن يتنازل عن شيء مهما كانوا عليه من حسن تصرفاته وأخلاقه يقبلونه. نعم. The brother, may Allah reward him, he goes around all the masjids in Milwaukee, no matter what they are upon, and he calls them to the sunnah. They have accepted him with open arms. He has the keys to a number of masjids. They've given him the keys. أعطوه المفاتيح. نعم. وهو يدعو إلى السنة. نعم. وهو سني واضح، ولكن عنده أسلوب معهم ما شاء الله. قلبه أنا أراه قلبه أكبر من قلبي، من الليونة الذي معه. نعم. From the softness that he has, with the openness, the way they talk with one another. نعم. ثم رأيت نحن في نيويورك عندنا شدة. نعم. In New York we have harshness. I was on the bus, like a Greyhound bus. When the people get on the Greyhound bus, they get on and say good morning. In New York, nobody says good morning to you. You better not say good morning to somebody. Yeah, you better mind your business. We don't do that. I'm surprised, like, good morning, who you talking to? Like, why not? You don't give the, hey, they're on. New York, we different. Y'all say good morning when you get on the bus like that to people. Nah. For authority. You don't speak to anybody. Nah. So the place where people's hearts are laying, يقبلون هذا. نعم. أنت معي يا عادل. نعم. ما شاء الله ارتحت هناك والناس ما شاء الله يحبون طلبة العلم. The people, they like طلاب العلم. لا بد من الدعوة. You know, we have to go out. We have to give da'wah. Sometimes I go to Cleveland. Sometimes I'm in New York. Sometimes I went this time to Milwaukee. Inshallah, close soon. Again, I go to Cleveland. And wherever we can, يدعو الناس إلى طاعة الله. We just want to invite the people to طاعة الله. أن هذه الحياة الدنيا ما أحلاها مع طاعة. ما أيسرها مع طاعة. بس. And the life of this world, how beautiful it is with obedience to Allah. How easy it is of obedience to Allah. نعم. هناك مساجد يا إخوة ما يعرفون السنة. Their messages, they don't know the sunnah of the Messenger of Allah. من لهم. Who's going to call them to the sunnah? نعم. They don't know the sunnah. They're upon what they're upon. Awam. They just awam. They just common folk. Awam. ما عرفوا. They know what they know. ما بالي امشي في هذه الشوارع وادعو كفار الاسلام واخواني في المساجد قد هجرتهم يا ابا كريم. نعم. What would I look at? I go out on the street, I call the kufar to Islam, and the Muslims in this masjid, they're not the sunnah. I'm not going over there. لا. يجب أن أحبهم. أنا مسلم. يجب النصر. نعم. ما يلزم أني أتنازل عن ديني وأجتمع معهم في يعني ما عندهم من مخالفات. It doesn't necessitate that I associate with them and that which is in disobedience to Allah. If I could get my 2 feet in there and I could get 2 words in there, I'm going to get in there. Just let me get my 2 feet in there. حتى أنصح. نعم. Give me كلمتين. Give me 2 minutes. If you say you only got 2 minutes. يعني قبلت. نعم. But they want more. الناس يريدون خير. نعم. فأسأل الله يبارك فينا في دعوتنا. الأخ أن أراه عنده بصيرة في الدعوة. He has an understanding in دعوة. يا إخوتي في الله بارك الله فيكم. الدعوة يحتاج strategy. نعم. يحتاج واحد يفكر كيف نقنعهم، كيف ندعوهم، كيف نهديهم بإذن الله. هكذا. You have to figure it out. It's not one set way. لا أحد يقول أنا أعرف دعوة، أنا عارف دعوة، أنا عارف دعوة. كل بلد له شأنه. Every place has its own area. لا ما كل ما تحاول. وما رميت إذ رميت ولكن الله رمى. هكذا مع الدعوة. أنت ترمي كلمة وتنصح، تعمل بالأسباب، والله يوفق. نعم. You didn't throw when you threw, but then Allah threw. Allah and you said it. Allah makes you hit the mark. Nah. So when you go by and you advise this one and you advise that one, sometimes it's accepted, sometimes it's rejected. Nah. فلا بد أن نسعى من يغار. نعم. من هو حريص على قلوب المؤمنين. المسابقة إلى الأرواح. نعم. Who's anxious? Who even cares? نعم. Who cares? It's a race to the souls of mankind. Now, who's going to get there first? The Nasrani, the Christian is going to beat us to the hearts of the people. It's a race to the hearts of the people. ما نتسابق إلى جيوبهم. We're not going after their money. القلوب. نعم. سيحتاج أسلوب. It needs a way. When you reach into the people's hearts, it's not sufficient that it's the haq. That's not sufficient that it's the truth. You have to come with a particular way. نعم. نسيت هذا الأبيات. الصدق حلو وهو مر. الصدق لا يتركه حر. لقد نسيت الأبيات. تذكرها يا بعدين. الصدق حلو وهو مر. نعم. The truth is sweetness, but has its bitterness too. It's bitter. نعم. فبارك الله فيكم. لابد أن نتعامل مع الناس معاملة طيبة. هذا يجب علينا. We have to treat people of good treating. We have to treat them well. نعم. لأننا نحن يعني كان المشايخ في اليمن كانوا يقولون هناك رجال جزاك الله خير. الصدق حلو وهو مر والصدق لا يتركه الحر. جوهرة الصدق لها جوهر يحسدها الياقوت والدر. ما شاء الله كلام جميل. الشاهد من هذا كله بارك الله فيك. الصدق is sweet. Truthfulness is sweet, but it's also bitter. It's also bitter. نسيت أين كنت. نعم جزاك الله خير. كانوا يقولون هناك رجال يحملون الدعوة، هناك رجال الدعوة تحملهم. There's men that they carry da'wah, and there's men the da'wah has to carry them. هناك رجال يحمل دعوة. There's men they carry da'wah wherever they go. They represent the sunnah, and they represent the tariq of the salaf, and they represent what Allah sent down in the sunnah. They represent that there's ulama, and they represent knowledge, and they convey this. أن هناك أناس يتخبطون نعم ويفسدون، والدعوة تحملهم. الناس يقول هكذا السنيون انظر السلفيون، الدعوة تحملهم. فهمتني يا أبا بلال؟ Islam has to carry their name. Like, yeah, and Salafis, they're arguing about themselves again. There they go, bringing up. So the dawah has to carry these people. Yeah, Mahmoud, you understand? There's people that carry dawah, and there's other people that the dawah has to carry them. Yeah, those are our brothers. That's the way it is sometimes. يتخبط. They go, it just has to be right. They don't have any usloob. They don't have any way to convey it. They don't have any softness. نعم. فنرجو أن الله يجعلنا الرجال يحملون دعوة. نعم يحتاج. It's not enough محبة. I love the sunnah. هذا ما تكفي. نعم. You have to have some type of experience. You have to have some type of خلفية. You have to seek advice. You have to have في نفسك التواضع، التسامح. لابد تكون سموحا. You have to be the type of person that forgives. نعم هين لين. If that's not your طبع, yeah, we're going to make you a حارس. خليك حارس على الباب أو شيء. نعم إذا ما هو طبعك هذا أنت يعني أنت هين لين. نعم أنت سموحا. نعم if that's not your MO, if that's not your mode of operation, that you forgive and that you pardon and that you're merciful. نعم وبالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين. ما أظن هناك أحد، ما يمكن يكون أحد أرحم من نبينا محمد. ما يمكن. النبي جاء في الحديث في مسلم أنه نبي التوبة وأنه نبي الرحمة. نبي الرحمة. There is nobody can be more merciful than the messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم amongst mankind. النبي هو الرجل رحيم. الداعي إلى الله, he's a merciful, caring individual. It troubles him to see people in disobedience. He's a caring person. He's concerned. That's how he is. فهذا يجعله يفكر كيف نقنع، كيف ندعو، كيف يعرف عن الناس أحوال. He knows people are in different situations and circumstances, so he treats everyone differently according to their situation. أسأل الله يعيننا. أسأل الله يعيننا يا إخوة. نقرأ عن نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. وفي باب مناسب قال في صفة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: عفوه صلى الله عليه وسلم وصفحه وإعراضه صلى الله عليه وسلم عن الجالهين. His forgiveness and his pardoning and his turning away from those that are ignorant. ولو جمعنا الآيات الذي فيه أن الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول أعرض عنهم، أن هذه الطريقة في الدعوة، just turn away from them. نعم. ودع أذاهم، دع أذاهم، اتركوا، امشي. نعم. فتولى عنهم. Just turn away from them. Just leave it. هذا أسلوب. You can't deal with every single thing. نعم. فنقرأ. قال الله تعالى: خذ العفو وأمر بالعرف وأعرض عن الجاهلين. نعم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يخاطب نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to our Prophet Muhammad. When you read Quran, عندما تقرأ Quran, انظر إلى الضمير، إلى المخاطب المفرد. He's talking to somebody in second person, singular. You have to recognize that when you read Quran. خذ العفو، ما معنى هذا؟ خذ العفو، ما معنى العفو يوسف؟ خذ العفو. يا منصر خذ العفو، take العفو. ما معنى العفو؟ أن يعفو. صحيح، ولكن عندي شرط في درسي، لا تفسر الماء بالماء. أما أكشن ما معنى الماء؟ لا بتعدي بكلمة ثانية. يا عمار أنت فهمت هذه القاعدة؟ نعم. Don't explain water. Actually, what's water? You say water. What is water? No, you gotta come with another statement. ما معنى خذ العفو؟ يا عبد الكريم، ما هي أيام معدودة؟ We just took this recently. أحسنت. خذ الزيادة. خذ الزيادة الذي خرج من الناس. نعم. عنده يعني حركاته وتصرفاته أحيانا يزيد بالكلمة. دائما عندنا هكذا بين أصحابنا، واحد دائما يأتي بكلمة أو نظرة أو يتجاوز الحد، يزيد. We have that from amongst one another, amongst our family. Somebody always goes overboard. He always says something. He always goes over. Accept that from them. خذوا اقبله. خاصة أنت تعرفهم هكذا, and you know that they like that. You know that your Uncle Willie is like that. And you know that Grandpa Wilmot is like that. And he always comes with that. Just accept him like that. That's the way your grandfather is. That's the way that your wife is. Accept it. ما بالك تعارض. Why you always do that? Why you always do that when I say that? ليش أنت متى ستفهم? When are you going to catch on? That's just how they are. خذوا اقبلوا يا أبا عياد. إلى متى? How long are you going to go? You know I don't like when you say that. ما أحب when anyone تفعل هذا. يا اقبلوا منهم. Just accept it from them. Yeah, they run. You understand that? If you don't understand, say, no, I don't understand what you're talking about. Now, some people have in their character, they get overboard. They have a little 2 cents. They always got a smart remark. Now, they always have something to say. That's just the way they are. خذ العفو, خذ الزيادة. Take that extra from them. وأمر بالعرف. ما معنى العرف؟ العادة عند الناس المعروف. Command the people with that which is right. وأعرض عن الجالهين. Just stay away from the ignorant. If somebody's ignorant, لا تواجهه. Don't confront him and say, why did you do that? Well, first of all, you messed up on that. Second of all, third of all, this person's ignorant. He's not going to understand. He's not going to even agree. Allah has no problem. It's okay. Let's go. لا تواجه الجاهل. Don't go and confront somebody who's ignorant. There's an usloob to deal with people. There's a way, there's a manner to deal with everybody. ثم ذكر الحديث عن أنس بن مالك قال أنس رضي الله عنه كنت أمشي مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعليه برد نجراني غليظ الحاشية. I was walking with the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, and he has a burdun. A burd is like a rida. It's a rida. Najraniyun is from Najran. ونجران آنذاك is not بلاد الإسلام. آنذاك. أنا في 73 ولكن أنا في 73. طيب. غليظ الحاشية. The end of it has stitches in it and it's rough. The end of it is thick. The edges of the scarf is thick. فأدركه أعرابي فجبذه بردائه جبذة شديدة. Somebody from the A'rab, and the A'rab is the desert Arabs. Just when you hear that, it's somebody who sometimes he has jafa, he has roughness with him. Bidun amd. It's not on purpose. That's just their nature. They're a little rougher because they live all the way out in the desert with camels, goats, and they're not used to dealing with people. They're not used to getting online and waiting their turn. They're not used to that. It's whoever goes first. That's the way it is. You know, they don't know these things. They don't mean any harm, but they just have a natural roughness with them. But if you just judge them from what's apparent, you wouldn't understand that. يعني البيئة الذي يعيش فيه يؤثر فيه. That the environment that he lives in makes him like that. He's a nice person. So this person came up to the prophet and he grabbed him by this scarf that he's wearing and he pulled him. He didn't tap on his shoulder and say, "Ya Muhammad, assalamu alaikum." He just snatched him and pulled him back. Like he's dealing with a camel. Like he's dealing with a goat. That's how he worked. قال أنس فنظرت في صفحة عاتق النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وقد أثرت بها حاشية الرداء من شدة جبذته. I looked at the neck of the prophet and it had a line in it from when the person pulled the scarf so hard and left a mark on the prophet's neck. And they pulled it hard and like burnt it on his neck. ثم قال يا محمد مر لي من مال الله الذي عندك. He said, "Oh Muhammad, give me from the money of Allah that you have. Give me money." And say, "Assalamu alaikum, how you doing? You know, I have a situation. I need some money. I don't know if you have any, but if you give me from the money of Allah that you have." Meaning, this money that you have is from Allah. It's for giving to people. It's not your money. No. What else would Allah know? The prophet is not about holding that penny money. You just explain to him, it's going to give to you. فَالْتَفَتَ إِلَيْهِ. The prophet had to, when he did it, the prophet had to actually turn and look and see who it is. Now, the prophet turned to him and he laughed or he smiled and he said, "Hey, give him some money." فَأَعْرَضَ عَنْهُ وَأَعْرِضَ عَنِ الْجَالهين. The prophet just turned away from me. He didn't say, "Why you had to pull?" Why didn't say, "Why did you have to pull me? Why did you tap me?" Second. He's not there yet. نعم. فأحيانا نحن نلاقي ما هو أدنى من هذا ونواجهه. Sometimes we meet that which is less than this, but we want to say, "Well, why do you have to say that? Why you make your face like that? Well, why you walk like that? Well, why you have?" Leave it. Kun samuhan, that you just allow things to happen is no problem. نقرأ حديث آخر. فلماذا سمح النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم هذا الرجل بجهله? The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم pardoned this person because he just doesn't know any better. He doesn't know another way. He doesn't know another way. So we have to look at people when they're ignorant, that we find for them an excuse. نلتمس لهم العذر. من أروع الأمثلة على هذا قال ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه: كأني أنظر إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يحكي نبيا من الأنبياء صلوات الله والسلام عليه. As if I'm looking at the prophet, he's telling the story of one of the prophets. May the peace and blessing of Allah be upon him. ونبينا محمد يخبر عن نفسه. نعم. لكن تكلم في الغائب. He's talking in the third person, but he's really talking about himself. ضربه قومه فأدموه وهو يمسح الدم عن وجهه ويقول: اللهم اغفر لقومي فإنهم لا يعلمون. التمس لهم العذر. Nah. His people hit him until they made him bleed. And while he's wiping the blood from his face, he said, "Oh Allah, forgive my people. Really, they don't know anything." Nah. التمس لهم الأذى. He looked for them for an excuse. نعم. هذا يجب علينا. That's what's upon us. حتى نرتاح نحن. You will be comfortable yourself. نعم. It's going to be easy and more merciful for you when you just turn away and just leave them. That's just the way that person is. كيف؟ نعم، أمثلة كثيرة. ملك الجبال. نقرأ حديث آخر عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال: كان لرجل. الحديث الأول كان في مسلم، في البخاري ومسلم، وهذا كذلك في الصحيح. This is also في البخاري ومسلم. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال: كان لرجل على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حق فأغلظ له، فهم به أصحابه، فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: إن لصاحب الحق مقالة. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam owed somebody some money. They came because he gave a camel to the Messenger of Allah, and the Prophet was supposed to give him the money back on such and such day. He bought a camel on debt. Now that day came, and he's coming asking for his money like an aglavala. He asked it with shidda. He didn't say, do you have the money to pay me for the camel? Yani atahu kalima shadida. He said it to him in a harsh manner. The Sahaba, the companions of the Messenger of Allah, when they saw him do this, they want to step to him. They want to straighten him up. Now they want to put him back in his place. But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the one who has the right, he has the right, he's correct, he has the right, he has a debt, he has whatever, let him say whatever he wants to say. He's right. I owe him. إن لصاحب الحق مقالة. نعم. فالأول أعذره لجهله، وهذا أعذره لأنه حق. نعم. The first one, the Prophet pardoned because it's ignorance. This one, the Prophet pardoned him because he has a haq. The Prophet owes him money. Prophet owes him money. نعم. فهكذا أنت ممكن واحد يعارضك ويأتيك بكلمة بشدة وهو على الصواب، لكن ما يلزم هذه الشدة، لكن ما دام كلامه صحيح أنت تقبله. هذا أسلوبك، هذا شأنك ودأبك. نعم. Somebody might come to you and say something to you out of line, but they're correct. They're correct, but they said it in such a harsh manner, in a rude manner, but they're correct. Accept it. Accept it. And this is what we work on ourselves. Jahid nafsa. Work on yourself. Finish it. Well, تلتقي مع هذه الأحوال إنما تخرج من المسجد الآن. You're going to meet the likes of the situation when you go home, when you go down the street, when you go to work, when you go to the store, when you go to the supermarket. You're going to find these situations. Tabik. Use it. Act according to it. So life is going to be better for you. Why you have to speak to me like that? I know I owe you, but you don't have to come out and boom. You just owe them some money. Just pay them the money. That's that. فانظر كيف قال فعل نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. فقال لهم اشتروا له سنا فأعطاه إياه. The Prophet said for them, buy him a camel with the same age as the one that he got from him. فقالوا إنا لا نجد إلا سنا هو خير من سن. We didn't find any camel except it was bigger than the one he actually gave you. So now you're paying him back more than he owes you. Now we only found a camel bigger than the one he actually gave you. فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فاشتروه وأعطوه إياه فإن من خيركم أو خيركم أحسنكم قضاءً. He said, give it to him, the best of you or the best of you when you're paying your debt. Nah, the best of you is when it comes to paying your debt. Pay it on time. If you want to give more than you owe, give that without it being a shart, without it being a condition. From your own self. From your own self. هذا الذي أخذنا من هذا الكتاب، ولعلنا نكتفي بهذا القدر. نحن في باب الصلاة في عمدة الأحكام، ولكن إن شاء الله نأخذه من الغد. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك، أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت، أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. جزاك الله خير.